Hey guys, Coaster515 here. On this episode of Coaster Battles, we will be putting Maxx and Top-Load Dragster up to the test to see which is the better launch coaster. Top-Load Dragster at Cedar Point is the original strata coaster and was the tallest coaster in the world for 2 years, and it uses a hydraulic launch system. Maxx at Six Flags Great America opened to the public in July 2019 and was the park's 16th roller coaster. It uses an air-compressed launch system and has North America's fastest acceleration. I'm going to judge these rides using a point system, and it will be going over categories including but not limited to height, speed, length, and the launch. With all that said, let's begin. The first category we will be looking at is height. This is not even a challenge for Top-Load Dragster, as it is the world's second tallest roller coaster at 420 feet above the ground, so it obviously wins this point. However, Maxx is still pretty tall at 175 feet above the ground, but still, Top-Load Dragster dwarfs Maxx, so the point will go to Top-Load Dragster. The second category is speed. This was yet another category where Top-Load Dragster completely stomps all over Maxx. However, again, Maxx is still decently fast as it's just shy of 80 miles an hour, but Top-Load Dragster being one of the world's fastest roller coasters at 120 miles an hour, it wins this category. Up next we have length. Now as for track length, this would be another victory for Top-Load Dragster as it is 1,000 feet longer than Maxx. However, this category is based on how long the ride is from the launch to the final brake run. And, turns out, Maxx is longer than Top-Load Dragster by 4 seconds, as Top-Load Dragster is 17 seconds long and Maxx is 21 seconds long. So, Maxx has won its first point. Now we're looking at arguably the most important part, which is the launch. Not gonna lie, this was easily the hardest one to pick. What made this so hard is that Top-Load Dragster has an extremely fast launch with good acceleration, but Maxx has a not as fast speed as Top-Load Dragster, but the incredible acceleration makes up for it. So this category is completely based on personal preference. Another factor to take into account is that Top-Load Dragster isn't really as smooth as Maxx. Maxx isn't even a year old, whereas Top-Load Dragster has been thrilling riders for 16 years. Though it is a small rattle, it shakes your body around throughout the entire launch. So with all things considered, I personally think that the best launch is on Maxx. Again, this is extremely close, as Maxx has a faster acceleration but a slower speed, and Top-Load Dragster has a faster speed but a bit of roughness and a slower acceleration. But the smoothness and the sheer wow factor of Maxx gave it the edge over Top-Load Dragster. Our next category is the acceleration. Now, I normally wouldn't have this as a category, but I thought it was necessary to address the advantage that Maxx has over Top-Load Dragster. Top-Load Dragster has the speed on its side, and Maxx has the acceleration on its side, going from 0 to 78 miles an hour in 1.8 seconds. Therefore, 1 point to Maxx. And here we have smoothness. Now, Maxx is brand new. It opened last year in 2019, so you won't find any issues regarding smoothness. Whereas for Top-Load Dragster, it does have a pretty significant rattle. It's only prevalent on the ascent and descent, so you don't feel it on the 90-degree turn, the crest, or the 270-degree roll, but it is still there. You can definitely tolerate it, but if you want a marathon Top-Load Dragster, you will get a headache. So Maxx will win this category. Now we have the restraints. This is another really close one. Top-Load Dragster has the intimate T-bar restraints, and Maxx has the same restraints as seen on Steel Curtain. Both restraints feel extremely open. Now, Maxx does have shin guards that are not soft in the slightest, as they are bulky hard plastic. However, they are very wide and open, so you most likely won't touch them at all. However, the fact that Maxx has shin guards gives Top-Load Dragster the edge in this category. Our next category is the layout. Now, Top-Load Dragster is simply a launch and a giant hill. That's it. Whereas for Maxx, you pop up into 2 inversions known as the dog tongue before being slammed with positive G's going up into the 0G roll and max dive loop, which consists of a 0G roll and a dive loop back to back with a sideways stall between them. These extra couple elements gives Maxx yet another point. The next category is the view. This is another category that we wouldn't normally have, but I feel like I have to take into account the exceptional view you get from Top-Load Dragster. Although Maxx actually has a great view from the top, it pales in comparison to the view you get from Top-Load Dragster. You have all of Cedar Point below you with Lake Erie in the distance. It's beautiful. Point to Top-Load Dragster. Next we have the theming. Maxx has a theme of racing. However, there would be absolutely no way of knowing that if you didn't see the trains. which are modeled after a race car. Even the name, Maxx Force, has zero relation to racing. However, on Untitled Dragster, they have bleachers set up not only to watch it launch, but it also, in a way, acts as theming. The station is reminiscent of something racing, maybe like a pit stop area or something, I don't know, but I dig it. They're also blaring the song Ready to Go by Republica, and that really hypes you up as you get ready to ride this amazing roller coaster. Yet another point to Untitled Dragster. Our final category is the build-up. With Maxx Force, you got nothing. No theming, no music, nothing. You do have a tunnel, but I don't know if I would consider that theming. In a way, I kind of like it because it really puts you on edge. However, I definitely think that if there was theming, it would be better. Whereas for Untitled Dragster, you got engines revving, a traffic light to indicate when you launch. It really gets you excited. And on top of that, you have the bleachers to your right filled with other guests. In general, Untitled Dragster has a really good build up to the launch, giving it the edge in this category. So, that does it for all the categories. And now it is time to reveal the winner of this coaster battle. And the winner is Untitled Dragster at Cedar Point, winning by 1 point. Congratulations, Untitled Dragster, you are the better launch coaster. Thank you guys so much for watching this coaster battle. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.